I'm John Hinkle, Senior Pastor of First Presbyterian Church. This is your Saturday morning preview of your Sunday morning sermon. But before we get into the preview, an apology. You know, Thursday is my day off, and usually on Thursday, Bobby does our Thursday devotion. But with Bobby on sabbatical, I've been doing a kind of a Thursday devotion on the text that we will read on Sunday. And all day Thursday, so usually I do that on Wednesday, and Thursday, all I kept thinking about was, when's Charlotte going to send that out? When's Charlotte going to send out my devotion? And then it dawned on me, I never did a devotion for Thursday, so I apologize for that. But so maybe this is a little bit of our devotion into our preview of our sermon for this Sunday. So we're ending our series of sermons on the book of Ruth. But we're ending our series of sermons on the book of Ruth, not actually reading anything from the book of Ruth. We're ending our series of sermons with the Gospel of Matthew, the first chapter, which, if you're familiar with Matthew's Gospel, it's the genealogy of Jesus. And in the genealogy of Jesus, which I will read, which I'm not looking forward to it because it's a genealogy with a bunch of Hebrew names, but in that genealogy, Matthew mentions 4 women. And one of those women is Ruth. Now that's interesting. Why would Matthew do this? Why would Matthew mention Ruth in his genealogy? Luke doesn't do this. He doesn't mention the 4 women, but Matthew does. So what's the point that Matthew's trying to get across? I think, and I'm not going to ruin the sermon, so I'll hold some of that for now, but when I look at the book of Ruth, and as we've explored the book of Ruth, we've noticed that Ruth is a story, as we've said all along, about relationships, right? We started with all relationships are built on hope, that many of our relationships take work and effort, that relationships can actually be dangerous, that there's risk involved when it comes to a relationship. And then as Joyce reminded us last Sunday, that out of all relationships, we should walk in faith, meaning that God has to be part of all the relationships that we have, relationships with each other and the relationships we have outside the doors of the sanctuary. But you may be asking yourself, okay, that's great, but what does that have to do with Jesus? Well, we learned this from Ruth. Ruth, you remember, isn't Jewish. Ruth's a Moabite. She's a foreigner. She's an immigrant. And I think what Matthew is trying to get across in his genealogy is that where Jesus came from says a lot about who Jesus came to save. Right? Where Jesus came from? He came from a Moabite. Where's Jesus going? He's come to save the world. He's come to save you and me. He's not just the Messiah for a select group of people. He's the Messiah for this world. Not just the world inside this church, but the big world outside those doors. That's so important for me to remember. Jesus talks about this all the time, right? He says, listen, I didn't come to save the healthy. It's not the healthy who need a doctor. So therefore, I'm not here for the righteous. They don't need me. I'm here for the sinner. They need me. When I look at Ruth, Ruth is the very person Jesus came to save, right? She's in a minority class. She's a woman. She's broken. She's poor. She's marginalized. If anybody needs Jesus, it's Ruth. Which is pretty amazing to think that Ruth is the great-grandmother to David. Jesus comes through the royal lineage of David. So I'm excited about this sermon. This has been a great to me, a great series of sermons. I love the book of Ruth. The more I get into it, the more I just, oh man, it's so good. It's just food to nourish us. So I hope you will come this Sunday. Remember, we are requiring mask and worship. We'd ask that you continue to pray for our New Beginning Task Force and a re-emerging task force as we kind of finalize our plans for September. Also, hey, shout out to everybody who helped with collecting items for the Waverly cleanup. We'll again collect items for next Friday. Just thank you for everything you've done. And listen, if I don't see you Sunday, I hope to see you soon. And I hope everybody has a great day. Talk to you later.